What even is a building envelope? Really important. Let's talk about it. So technically speaking, the building envelope is a barrier that separates the building's conditioned space to an unconditioned space, whether that's in a different part of the building or outside of the building itself. So there's a lot of different ways that we can think about this. Think about a house that's in a cold winter environment. Tons of snow all the way around, wind is whipping all around the house, but inside that home there's either a furnace, a fireplace, a wood burning stove. There's some sort of heat source inside that house, creating heat so that the people inside are nice and comfortable. The problem is, how do you keep that heat inside? Otherwise, that heat's gonna pour out, and whatever fuel you're using, whether it's gas, propane, electricity, wood, whatever the case, whatever fuel you're using is gonna continue to burn and burn and burn and go to waste because that heat is going to escape out into the cold. Hot always wants to go to cold, high wants to go to low. Nature wants to balance out. So if you have hot air inside, that heat wants to transfer and go to something cold. That heat wants to escape, spread itself out, and neutralize. That's why the hot air in your home in the winter always wants to get out. So you need some sort of barrier or shield or box or container around your home to make sure that heat stays contained. And none of that wind from the outside can penetrate inside the house either. Well, that barrier, that shield, that's your building envelope. You want it to encompass the entire conditioned space. So if you're heating the attic, if you're heating the basement, if you're heating bedrooms, you want that entire structure enveloped. Now, there's a lot of components that come into establishing your building envelope. Obviously, your wall assembly itself. Everything from the inside layer of paint through the drywall or plaster, whatever the case is, paneling, to your wall assembly itself with the studs, electrical, whatever insulation you put inside there, the sheathing on the outside, and of course your exterior. That entire wall assembly will make up your building envelope. So it's important to use building materials that can stop airflow and that can have good heat flow resistance to retain those temperatures. So this is why we always recommend something like foam insulation that does not allow air to pass through it. Now this combined with, of course, you want to have a good exterior, make sure you're not getting that airflow in. We do recommend house wraps that help with that and other air sealing measures. But also think about your windows and doors. How many times have you actually walked around your windows and heard whistling because airflow is just barreling through little gaps and crevices around your window framing? Your doors are the same thing. Those gaskets that you can put around door frames, they serve a huge purpose. That cheap gasket that you can get at any hardware store for less than $10 can save tons of money and make you so much more comfortable. I do want you to take a step back. We've been talking about your home, but let's talk about something else. Let's talk about those big fancy coolers that people get that hold ice for 7 days. Well, the reason they can contain those temperatures for so long is because they have a strong building envelope. Now, of course, I know it's not a building. The principle is the same. It has a barrier around the entire cavity on the inside. Bottom is completely encased in plastic and in foam insulation, by the way. And at the top, there is a gasket around the lid to make sure no air can get in or out. That's why those things perform so well. You think about any sort of tumbler or cup or coffee mug that you use, it works that way because it stops airflow and contains temperature. If you're interested to see what the inside of one of those coolers looks like and how this principle works, go to our description below. We have a link to a cool video where we actually cut one in half and you can see this principle in person. So to summarize, a building envelope is just a shield that goes around your entire home that keeps any of the hot or cool air you're paying to create inside, and it stops any outside air from getting in. So super important to have. If you're looking to learn more about this and how to take back the comfort and control of your home, go to our link below to our learning center. We have all kinds of articles, videos, and blogs, everything you need to know about making your home comfortable. This is the Professor of Foam reminding you that building is a science.